Hello.
Oh, how are you? Can you hear me?
Yep, I got you. How are you?
I'm good. I'm in an airport club, so we'll probably try to be quiet as much as possible. How are you today?
Okay. I'm doing good. How are you? Happy Friday.
Yes, same to you. Same to you. Looks nice and sunny behind you.
Well, it looks nice and sunny, but it's very hot. It's like super hot.
Yeah.
As long as you're inside with like the AC on, you're good. But once you step outside, that's when all the sweat starts, and that's not a nice part.
Yeah. 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 I know that feeling in Texas. We share that sentiment.
Do you guys have humidity there, or is just like heat?
It's both. Depends, certain times of year there's a heavy humidity and lots of heat,
Oh.
and sometimes it's just lots of heat.
Yeah. Well, luckily
It's-
in Cairo, we don't get a lot of humidity, but like the heat is just unbearable.
yeah, yeah. We're not as humid as like Houston, closer to the coast, but it's still enough. Like you
Yeah.
said, you seek the air conditioning. You plan your
Yeah, you keep
plan
looking
your
for
trips
it wherever
accordingly.
you go.
Right.
Yeah.
I was in Toronto this week, and it's lovely up there, though, weather-wise.
Oh, that's nice. So I know from Reem that you like travel a lot because of your work.
Yeah. Yes.
That's
Yes,
fun.
a little bit.
I would
That's
love to
okay.
work something that would make me travel.
Yeah, it is. It is. I am grateful, but it sometimes can get a little
Yeah,
long. Yeah.
definitely.
Hello,
Yeah.
Daniel.
I'm on mute.
Daniel.
Sorry. I flipped
Daniel.
over and I was like, I bet I was still on mute. I jumped over to another screen. I'm good. How are you?
Good. You're growing out the beard. It's got length or fullness to
Yeah.
it now.
Doing the mustache mainly. Just
Yeah.
my wife loves it, so I don't know. I keep thinking about like getting rid of it, but she likes it, so I'll do it for her.
Oh,
The
that's
sacrifices
nice.
we make.
That's nice.
I saw a little video of a kid that wanted to shave his dad's beard and mustache, kind of. So he
Yeah.
let him.
Mhm.
And then the kid was like, "Why did you do that?" And he said, "Because you wanted me to." And he's like, "No, you look better with put it back on." And
Put it back on, yeah. Too late. Yeah, the first time I had one and shaved it, my youngest, he cried, and then my wife cried, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll be right back.
Wow.
Are you really that ugly without it, Daniel?
I am. You got to cover as much of my face as possible. That's really, if I could grow it all here, that'd be good.
Wolfman.
Now that I think of it, I've never
Wolfman.
seen you without a mustache before.
Yeah, I thought, how long have you worked with us? Yeah, I thought
Since last November.
okay, I must have just been starting it when you started working with us.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay.
Are we expanding the Cairo office there? Looks like we've got coworkers getting together now.
Yeah. We're very
they need-
excited for what's to come.
Oh
They may
boy.
need more. They may need more seating. It looks like
Yeah.
we've got two in the same sharing the same video screen.
They're
Need
on the
bigger
same
cube.
chair.
Right. Reem, do you actually have a seat, or are you just sitting on Aya's seat also?
But yeah, my laptop just decided to make an update and it takes a long time. So I just joined from AS laptop.
Ah, okay. You're kind of breaking up a bit. We can't hear you very well. But I think I got that your laptop is restarting.
I'll turn off my camera so because it's lagging.
Okay.
Can you hear
Hi,
it?
Brandon.
Yep, now it's better.
Brandon, you're muted
Brendan, you're
currently.
muted.
Got it. Okay, sorry. Seth said he had a invalid link, so I was trying to get him the right link.
Do you want me to send it to him on the group on LinkedIn?
I texted it to him. So I think he'll be good.
Okay.
So, cool. All right. How's everybody doing? I feel it was so weird not talking to everybody, a week ago.
Yeah.
It was so weird not having our group.
You need my weekly fist bump fix.
That's right. That's right. Well, and I got to get these out. Well, Seth, here's a preview. Seth's going to have these. Seth and I are meeting in a few hours. We got our fist bump, squeeze things, stress balls, whatever. And our shirts. I got to get new ones with our green logo.
Yeah, you need to ship some to Egypt.
I'm still waiting on my coffee cup, Brandon.
Oh, well, I got to get you a new one because now it's our old logo. So I need to order more coffee cups, and then look at Daniel and I matching, but I want to get them. I want to get new ones in our green
Just
logo.
give me an old one. Just give me an old one. You
I'll
promised me
bring-
one when we were dating that you would
That's
give me
true.
a coffee mug, and I still haven't seen it.
Such a bad boyfriend, I tell you. You guys want to see my
Follow
special
through is
guest?
horrible.
You want to see my special guest today? I asked her to come and lead us today.
Hi.
That's
Oh my
Zoe.
God.
Oh,
Finally, somebody who knows what they're doing.
Well, between Zoe and Daniel's son, they could probably teach us a lot about video editing for
sure.
YouTube
True.
and Instagram.
Mm,
So, yeah.
That's awesome.
Do you want to tell them about the videos you do with your friends?
Oh, I make fake commercials with my friends.
Yeah,
Awesome.
speak up.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, all right, you good?
Wi-Fi password.
Oh, sorry. It is. Sorry, guys. Let me get her set up with the Wi-Fi password.
Okay.
Oh, that is cute.
My daughter was asking me last night to make a TikTok with her.
You should.
It was just like this dance move thing, and it wasn't really my brand. I was struggling with it.
Thrive guest or Thrive member. Sorry. Oh, I didn't mute.
So Chris, what dance move is your vibe?
More of just kind of I don't know. Let's see if I kind of let's see. You know, in Animal House when they're all just kind of when Belushi's just kind of swaying from side to side in the toga party. Yeah, it's more like that, I think. Not so
Whenever
choreographed.
when you answer something with, do you remember Animal House? That's just not a good way to start.
I figure I feel really close with everybody here. I can.
That's true. Good. All right. So, hey, we got Daniel and Noor and Miriam and Aya and Reem, and they're probably going to lead more because they use it. For Seth and Cups, there's one way that you're going to use it as part of our accelerator program. Chris, there's a separate way that you'll use it, but both of us can use it the same. And this was a feature that I asked Daniel for me, and then realized that, hey, this is, I am like you guys. I'm busy. I come up with ideas that would be great social content or things that I'd like to share, or I walk out of a meeting and go, oh, wow, I got to share that with people. And then, of course, by the time I sit down, I forget it. And so what they built for us is, and the good news is the mobile app is coming. You guys can all beat up Daniel on timing, but it's on his to-do list with lots of other things on it, but the mobile app is coming. But inside of Creator Studio, we have features that we can we can add text or an audio note. For me, it's always audio. It's just easier to go blah, 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 blah. You can load a picture from your phone and give a little bit of information on it, or you can load an image with an audio note combined. And Daniel, where are we at on loading videos into there? Is the image work the same on videos or no?
We don't have video yet.
Okay.
So just picture and then audio or text notes or a combination of the two.
Yeah.
Right now. But you can do it from your mobile as well.
So for Cups and Seth, did we lose Seth?
No, I'm
Oh,
here.
no, he's right there, right in the front of me. Cups and Seth, the way this is working, Butch, for you and I, when we load things, it'll go into our twin, but also notify whoever our assistant is. So Mina notifies Aya whenever I load something, so she knows it's there. And for Chris, what you'll be able to do is you put all the stuff in there that goes into draft mode, and then you can log in and turn it into whatever you want to turn it into. So I'm going to pause there and see if you guys have questions. And then I don't know, Daniel, Nor, I know you guys were talking about who was going to lead us with the tactical, because I'm not as good at it.
Yeah, I think I'll give the lead to Daniel to show you guys the tool, and then I'll show you how I use it in everyday.
Perfect. So
Okay.
Tubbs, Seth, Chris, Butch, any questions before we dive into the tech?
No, let's see it.
So guys, before we jump into that, I want to tell you, here's the way I recommend using it, and here's the way I've been using it. I come up with a lot of ideas when I'm out walking or running. And by the way, you guys keep me accountable. I've been hitting my 40K a week for the last few weeks, and I don't want to lose it. So I gotta share everybody that I'm doing it to keep me accountable.
We'll check in with you.
Yeah, it means if I don't get a run in today, it means tomorrow I got to do a 9-miler to hit my goal for the week. But I'll survive. When I'm walking, I think about things like, oh, that would be a good social message. Or when I finish a meeting, like I had one today online with a new partner of ours who's coming on board. And she had some requests of things like, oh, could you do this? Could you do that? And I'm like, oh, yeah, why? And she's like, well, you know what I find? And she's sharing with me like some of her challenges with using LinkedIn. I'm like, oh, wow, that would be a great piece of social content. I pull out the phone, I turn on the audio, and I just speak it. So just start sharing. But remember when you do it to give it context. Like facts are facts. But AI is going to create really boring content for you if it's just facts. So make sure that you're giving it the context. Why is this important? How does it make people feel? She, in this case, Susan was frustrated that she couldn't, be consistent. Like, give it some context to help your twin craft it into a good, engaging message or a story instead of just being facts. You can do the same thing with pictures. I didn't do this because we didn't have it at the time, but you guys remember my picture that was the snake habitat, caution snake habitat, when I was on that hike, walk, whatever. That was really weird, by the way. I took the picture and I thought I could use this at some point. I don't know when or where, but now I could have loaded it with an audio note and started giving it some context. And then that way, when Aya goes in and uses my twin to create stuff for me, and I don't think this is done, this part isn't done yet, but I know we're getting to where when we produce content, we could actually use the AI to look into our photo library. It's not done yet, but the goal is it'll be able to look in the photo library and just give Aya, 2 or 3 or 4 pictures that might be a good match in bringing in our humanity with our business acumen in each post. So we want to let the AI help us. It's not going to make final decisions for us. Either your assistant is going to do that to give you confidence that you're going to look good, Seth and Cups. Chris, for you, it may give you some suggestions, but you don't have to take it. You can ultimately load your own photos or do whatever you want. And notice, Daniel, I told him it's not done yet. I'm not putting too much pressure on you.
Yeah, sure. But I mean, you can also just upload those images to your library and have someone assistant help you with that. So making that connection, because that's still, I think we talked about it recently about AI's a little bit I want to say overhyped, but it's been oversold in what it's capable of.
Oh yeah.
It's still requiring somebody to step in between and sanity check and to edit and polish. Basically, it's just not there.
Yeah.
No matter what people tell you.
Right, but I like the idea that if you're loading pictures on a regular basis,
yeah,
and then at some point you load an audio note, of like, hey, I'd like to do a post about da 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 da, let the AI at least give you a suggestion of like,
Sure.
hey, here's 2 or 3 pictures in your library that might be that good mesh.
Mhm.
We on the back end will actually we'll do our best with the AI to encourage it that, you guys know my philosophy with this. We have to bring our humanity into our social content. And it's that combination of our humanity and our business experience that makes people feel like they already know us. And so if we can have the AI try and help us do that better, it just makes us more efficient instead of us sitting around going, now what picture would work for that?
Mhm.
So
Yeah,
just,
sure.
again, I think AI is good to help us be more efficient, but we can't let it make final decisions. That's why we have our assistants as part of our, our concierge program.
Yep.
All right. Did I beat that
Yep.
into the ground, guys? Oh, Chef, go ahead. You're on mute though.
I was just going to say, regarding AI, my kids are constantly commenting how my AI twin does not really talk like Seth talks at home in my posts. They're like, he's smarter than you. It's not, and I'm not saying it to disparage the AI twin. I'm just saying that it does a better job of expressing thoughts than I do. So it's just funny. They're like, there's Dad's AI twin again.
Got it.
So Seth, do you find that are you going in and adjusting that? Like it's using verbiage that you wouldn't necessarily use, even though it's appropriate for that spot?
Yeah, I've gone in and edited. Reem will do I'll send a note to Reem and she'll take it and put it in the AI twin and publish something. And I'll always go behind it and look at it and just see, is there anything I need to tweak that's not accurate, or, a better term in our industry would utilize. But, 8 out of 10 times it's spot on with what I want to post. It's just not really the way that Seth normally talks around the family, but it's good. I didn't mean that disparagingly. I was just making a comment. My kids find it funny.
Yeah, and I think there's a couple things on there for me. One, I agree with you. I think in some ways my twin will write things I go, oh wow, that's really smart, and I didn't think of it. I wish I did. Yep. And then there's the other piece, and I don't know if this is for you, but I do tend to speak differently in business than I do at home with my family, and I want the twin to make me smarter for business instead of my kids saying, yeah, that was you. But that's just me. I think the other thing that's coming, again, Daniel, no pressure. We don't know our time. We've got a lot of cool tech stuff that's on our plate, but what Aya and I and Nor use is a tool called Plannable now, and we're going to build something into Fist Bump that's similar for our customers that have our personal brand assistants. By the way, you guys will notice we changed the name from concierge to personal brand assistant because so many prospective customers we were talking to go, what do you mean by a concierge? I thought it was a pretty common term, like implied white glove quality service. You're never alone, but we seem to be missing. And so we've refocused it to your personal brand assistant. But what'll take place is our goal is going to be about a week ahead on all your posts so that you'd have time to go in and review and edit if you want to. If you don't, that's okay. We don't want to put pressure on you, but we want to give you the option to be able to do that. I think especially early on, it'll be more of something that people will want to do to feel comfortable. But then after they get into a rhythm, they may not care as much. So I don't want to put another thing on anyone to do, but I want to make it available so that you have that option to be able to make sure it sounds like you or use better verbiage for your industry or things like that. I see your hand raised.
Oh, that's actually me, Reem. Hey guys. I just want to comment on the part where Seth actually said that conversation that is being used in the post is quite different. You can always get back to the twin and
Hey, I don't know if anyone else can, but I can't understand what you're saying. You keep breaking out. So
is that better?
Yeah.
Okay, so I was saying that we can always get back to the twin and retrain it with the words that we are using. And the twin is going to catch on the new words and phrases. We answer questions, we can upload emails or articles that we wrote. And this is going to retrain the twin, and it's going to change the word phrases so it would sound more like us. Right?
Yeah, I couldn't follow all of it. Yeah.
Yeah, I understood a good bit of it. I think she's talking about retraining the twin and using content or words that you use. So there's some ways to make it better by uploading your content and retraining. And then also inside of your settings for the twin, you can give some more direction around how you want it to sound. So if we do want to make it sound a little, or give it some words that you always use or something like that, you can definitely have those options right now.
So I would say for anybody that's using an assistant, if you feel like it's not sounding like you, work with them to get it retrained.
Mm-hmm.
We've added more features and we have more awareness on how to keep retraining the twin to sound more like you. So just bring that up with Reem or Aya or whoever you're using, whoever your assistant is.
Yeah, and I noticed that whenever you upload content training, it also improves your results a lot, even in like the structure of the post itself. Like it makes it sound more and more like you, because you're using content that you actually wrote yourself. Like, of course, don't use the content that's like AI generated, because that's going to be like an infinite loop. But if you use the content that you write to train it, then that improves the results. Because I tried it with Brandon and we've seen improvement.
Mm-hmm. And with Cups and SEP, then you're going to get more of this. Our new program for our new clients, we're really focused on bringing them into the digital studio for 2 1-hour sessions a month and interview them and then use their transcripts. So, and I don't know, Reem, exactly where you are with them on getting them back into the studio and doing that on a consistent basis, but that'll help retrain your twins as well. So whenever Nora tells me we need more, I need you to write.
Currently going to.
Go ahead, Reem.
No, just confirming. I was just confirming with you that we are going to recommend our visits to the studio twice a month.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get, my point of that was going to be, guys, if they ask you, we need more stuff that you write, don't write anything. Use your audio notes, is my opinion. It's easier. It's more authentic. And I think for us, we just do it quicker. We just turn on the audio note and talk. And it's the best version of our voice because it is our voice. I find when I sit down and write, I sound like someone else because I start trying to craft a written message and it's not me. So just use your audio notes. So Daniel, you want to start showing them how to use this? Because I believe, guys, the more that you send in audio notes, the better we're going to train the twin.
Sure. I was just getting it ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But by the way, Noor, I think I'm coming out to Cairo at the end of August and we're going to get our office set up and we're going to get really, really good internet access because we got to make sure that we have good internet access. So we're not constantly saying, I can't hear you.
Okay, got you. And we're going to have fun.
And we're going to have fun. Yeah.
Nor y'all can have fun, but Brandon can't.
Exactly.
He's on an all business trip.
I know.
Don't
I
worry,
keep telling
him. We'll make him.
So you guys know in our team meetings, I'm like, okay, we got to do this, and that. And they're like, we're going to take you here for dinner, and we're going to do this. And I'm like, no, I'm there for business.
Well, that's in the morning. We're not going to work all day, so we're in the morning business, and in the night we party.
Yeah, what I've learned about the Egyptian culture is you guys don't sleep much.
No, we don't.
I'm older and I need my sleep.
Don't
Anyway,
worry, you'll have some good Turkish coffee to keep you awake.
that's true. That's true. All right, Daniel, let's jump into this because this is really, really cool.
Okay,
the,
will do.
guys, I think this is going to make us more efficient and it's going to help us create better content. That's my ultimate goal with this.
Okay. Let me just share the whole screen. Sometimes you can't see stuff if I don't. All right. So if you click on Creator Studio now in the application, well, not now because I'm showing it to you, but when you go back to it, you're able to now add in post ideas. So that's what Brandon was just talking about, where he'll be out walking and wants to capture either an idea or an image or both. And the way that we're really setting this up is that the goal is to turn this feature at least into a mobile app so that you don't have to kind of work around using it as a link or as a browser inside of your mobile phone. So if you click on one of these, for instance, you're able to, and that's why I've kind of simplified the layout here, is so that if you have it on a mobile device like this, you're able to see it easily. So if you don't know how to save a link as an icon on your phone, I can help you with that. But that's the way I use it, and I think Brandon's using it, is that you'll save this as a little icon. So when you click on it, it's similar to a mobile app. It's going to look like an app, but then it's going to take you here. And then you'll be able to either use the microphone or the built-in microphone on your phone on the keyboard. And when you choose a file, it'll pull images from your library. It's probably going to give you a pop-up that says allow access to images. Same when you click on, if you use this microphone, it's going to ask you to give you access to the device's microphone. But yeah, you just can drop something in here, save it, and then it will come in on this page here. So these have all been uploaded from my phone. And at this point, if you have someone doing it for you, you could just leave it and they'll turn these into posts for you. Brandon and Noor, do you want me to go into actually creating a post off of one of these, or did you want to show that, Noor?
Noor can take the
Yes,
lead.
I would. Yeah, I would like, you could show them one and I'll show them
Okay.
another one.
Okay.
So
Sure.
they can see how we can do it for a client, and then you could show them how they can do it on their own.
Sure. Okay. So for instance, I've got just a text or audio note here. And it was something about, would you rather have 1,000 engagements and no DMs, or a post with no engagements and one DM for a $10,000 agreement? It's kind of just a test to show you guys, but you can then when you hit create post, you still get the same UI where you can decide if it's a personal, professional, or somewhere in between. I'm going to write it as a mix of both. And turns it into kind of a nice layout, the white spacing and the kind of the traditional, easy to skimmable post. Sometimes I've seen the hook not be perfect or ideal. So that's the one thing I've sometimes changed. But I think overall, it's a pretty good post that you could probably spend a minute or two on and have something that's postable. I will do this all the time and then just publish it directly to LinkedIn from here. So probably the last 2 weeks of my posts have been this method, directly from the Fistbump app. Does anyone have any questions about that? User experience?
Yeah, I'd just like to highlight a couple things, guys. You have rewrite options on the left side there, that if you want to change some of your default settings and have it rewrite, you can do that pretty quick and easy. And then right above it, you have where you can load an image. So you can make this, totally ready to go for LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
And the schedule isn't on that page, Daniel?
No.
Right now you can only publish, but being
Real
able
time.
to schedule things for the future is coming.
Yeah, I know it's something we talked about and it's coming. I think we all kind of like to be on or most of us like to be on when we post, just for that like instant feedback from comments and stuff. But yeah, it is coming for sure. And then the next thing would be images. And here as an example, you know, there's absolutely nothing here but an image. We could see what it gives us. I have a caption for the image, so it's saying, you know, it's me with my family in Tanzania traveling. Okay, so it's not always perfect, but you want to probably give a little more context than just an image. At least have some sort of, you know, Brandon was talking earlier about giving context around what you're doing or what the post should be about.
Yeah,
But
that's
at least
that's
it covers.
why usually
Yeah.
for me, guys, I don't load just an image. My personal style, I don't load just an image. I load an image with an audio note to give it context every time. Just because AI still, it's not quite there. Even with our twin, it's not smart enough to go grab something that I said 3 weeks ago and apply it to an image. So I give each image context and
Yeah. I don't think it's terrible. It's a okay
It's not.
post considering the
It's
caption
not
was me and the
terrible.
family traveling in Tanzania. Like it's very,
Yeah.
there wasn't much to it.
Yeah, I think when I say I don't do that, guys, what I mean is I care enough about my personal brand and I'm human all the time on LinkedIn that I don't like it when I have an AI generated content that makes me sound a little bit more shallow or distant, or I don't even want to be near a post that sounds like it was AI generated because of my personal brand and being the CEO of Fist Bump and all that. I just stay away from it because of that reason. I think it's important for me for that. Outside of that, I think a lot of the stuff it creates is good. It's good
Yeah.
enough.
I think so
But
too.
because
And-
Fist Bump does what we do, I care more about my brand.
I agree. The other thing is you could just drop in images from your phone if you're going through your library and there's some things you know that you want to create posts off of. And then you could come back in later and then come in back in and actually write the context here. So don't feel obligated to do everything all at once. If you're just like, I really like this image, I just don't know what I'm going to do with it. You can just save that and then come back in later, add the context, and
Oh,
then
Daniel, I hadn't thought about that. So you use the image with text. You just don't add text right now. You just load the image and then you can come back and add it.
yeah, so
That's
yeah, so
Got it.
that way you don't feel like you always have to do everything at once.
yeah.
You know, it's kind of low impact where you say, I'm just going to add this right now. The same way with an idea, you know, you might have an idea and you're like, I don't have an image for it yet, vice versa. You could do one or the other and then just save it in Creator Studio, come back later and finish it off or have someone do that for you.
Yeah,
Um,
you know, as you say that, I might start just doing that for every one of them. Meaning, I know you guys think about it. If I use image and text for each one of them, and even if I just give an audio note, maybe later I can find an image that matches it and just have it be done. Because like I loaded a couple of images and image only. And then afterwards, when I got in here, I actually had to download it and then reload it into creating a post and add my content. So I like the idea.
Yeah.
If you guys care, always use image and text audio note. Even if I just give a note or I just give an image after the fact, I can in
Yeah,
one
you-
shot edit it and then turn it into a post.
Just a slight change to that. You can actually come in and always edit both, even if you started from any of these points. So like this was
Can I?
just so this is just a text idea. And then I
Okay.
can come in now and add an image. So we're not kind of
Thank you.
like, yeah, we're not forcing you into if where you started is what you want it to be. So you can change
Okay.
it. And then one other slight variation that something you mentioned earlier, it isn't sending inbuilt notifications, and I can easily add that it would send a notification to your assistant, only because of I didn't want you to like feel that the second you send something to the Creator Studios is that they're going to be notified and they should run with it. So what's going to be coming here is a button that says, you know, I'm finished with this idea, or send to my assistant, whatever that UI will be. But it's basically saying, hey, this is a finished idea that I want something to happen with. So your two options are do it myself or have someone do that for me. Does that make
Chris,
sense?
you have a question? Yeah.
Yeah, this is related, but a little veering off. I tend to post a fair amount with multiple pictures. I'm seeing everything, at least that Daniel's doing, is a singular picture. Are you guys finding in general that a singular picture tends to work better because it can be larger, or just general philosophy around using images?
Daniel, go ahead.
It just dawned on me when you said it. Honestly, I hadn't really thought about it, to be 100% honest. I never do multi-picture, but I guess it's just, I don't know enough about the algorithm. Brandon, you might have more insight there, but
yeah, I don't know about the algorithm, but I know from my personal experience, I don't know, a year and a half ago, 2 years, I don't even remember, Chris, I tried doing multiple pictures and my engagement dropped a lot. And when I thought about it, it's like one picture, easy to focus and have a human response to it. Multiple pictures, you're making people work. You're making them pay a little bit more attention and try to figure things out. So I did it a few times and then stopped and never looked back, but I haven't done like a deep dive comparison or looked at the algorithm or anything.
But those
Chris,
scrolls
if I
seem
can
to be
chime
popular,
in.
right?
Cups,
It
go
can be,
ahead.
So
yeah.
if it's in PDF form and it looks like a carousel, that's easier to skim through than pictures on, like, because they show up weird. Even on laptop, they show up like kind of a jigsaw puzzle and you have to click and go through them. But if it's in a form of a PDF file and it's uploaded like a carousel, it's much easier to skim through them. But Chris, I think what I see from your activity on LinkedIn, you post several pictures when you're posting something related to an exhibit. Like I just saw one this morning, it had like a lot of greenery and it was very nice. And I think that works for your industry because you're showcasing like what you guys do on the floor. But when you post personal pictures, it's more of like you or your dog or a scenery of some kind. So what I would recommend is you could go and put the images in a PDF file and upload it as a carousel.
Nora, that's so smart. That was really, really smart. That's really good, especially for your industry, Chris.
Yeah, I always skim through his posts, honestly, when I see them, because I like watching the exhibitions and what they do.
Thank you. Thanks. No, thanks for the specific feedback. And that's sometimes one picture doesn't tell the story of an exhibit, or maybe there's multiple exhibits at that show, right? So in those instances, I feel fairly confident that if somebody likes it enough to stop and look at it, then that's adding to their belief that I might be a great guy to work with. But to your point, like I just posted this morning, and it was pictures from an outdoor lawn concert that we went to, and I was kind of torn because it's a really cool place, and I had several different shots of the castle and a big lawn and the ocean. So I wanted to express that, but at the end of the day, I probably didn't do myself any favors, and I could have just gone with the one of me, in a crowd kind of thing.
Yeah, and also if you think about it, you can repurpose those pictures later. Like you can use them in like a month or two, and you could say like a little throwback to when I was wherever. So if you think about it that way, you can repurpose them.
Okay.
Yeah, Chris, I want to pause and say what Nora said for you with doing booth pictures in a carousel, in a PDF, go to Canva and just put pictures and 5 or 6 different things. And you don't, at that point, you don't have to make it like a pretty carousel and have an intro page and all that. You just, here's my pictures, and then use your words to say, here's 7 pictures of the booth, and then talk about the strategy or why you're doing it. That just makes it super easy for people. I think it would be intriguing and super easy for people to go next, instead of seeing a collage of pictures where you're like, what's going on in that little thing? I think you could really create a consistent an expectation with people that you're going to load 4, 5, 6 pictures of booths from different angles and tell a strategy story and become known for that.
Yeah, and if you want to add like a little sprinkle, you can create actually like a cover page, and it could be a template for like every one you post, a cover page with the name of the exhibit and maybe the date that you guys did it. And you will be remembered by this, like, oh, you're the guy who posts the carousels on LinkedIn showing us the booths that you guys do. So this is something else you can use.
Yeah. Put a templated title and a theme around it so that they have something to remember it.
That's cool.
I like that.
I like that. I like that. So I've never done a carousel before. Is that a different upload than just an image? You put it in as
Yeah, you know what? I can share with you.
Document.
Yeah, Chris, we have a training on that in the coaching community that I will go find the link and share it with you.
Okay.
Cool.
All right. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Got it.
I mean, that was kind of it that I had for the walkthrough. I don't really have anything else. Sorry.
But Noor, you want to show what you do with turning those into posts, because it's something that you may not ever do because you have Ream. Chris, it'll help you, but I still like using it because there's still some of my posts that I go, no, I want to do this one, and so I still use the twin to help me be more efficient, and I create it myself. So, Seth, it's there if you want to use it. It's there if you ever want to use it and create posts for your company page or things like that. So Noor, do you want to go ahead and share and show the nuance that you and Aya and Reem do?
Yep. Okay, so here I am impersonating Brandon, and this is some of the notes he left. So there are different ways that I go about this because we have a division of like every day we push out certain type of content. So not every day is a personal post, not every day is a business post. We kind of mix it so his feed doesn't look very boring. So depending on the day, I go in and choose something that would be suitable for the theme of the day. So let's say we're going to create a post about him being a paper boy in the 80s, which I did not know. So this is going to be, because I'm thinking like Brandon, so I'm thinking this is going to be a little bit more of a personal post, but as well it's going to have like a business message at the end. So I'm going to keep it a mix of both. Okay. So what I do from here is I basically do the regular edits, like the breaks. I skim through it. Of course, I add a bit of a better hook, because when the hooks are, this is something I learned this week, when the hooks are too in your face, like giving you an order or like, very harsh, people don't tend to relate to the post very much. They like vulnerability. They like feeling like, oh, I sometimes feel that way too, so I might as well continue reading the post. So I usually change the hook completely, and then I just do the regular breaks. I remove some of these things because it's like we don't really need those or those. So this is like very boring editing stuff that we do.
It is, but I just want to add, it's like this stuff to me it's so cool that it's all kind of set up for you, in the sense that like now you're just having to do those little tweaks to make it look like a legit post, or it is a legit post. I don't even want to use the word it looks like.
And I noticed here that that he is shouting out certain people. So if I post this on LinkedIn from right here, I would go into LinkedIn and actually tag these people for more reach. I can add a CTA if I want. If I don't want to, I'll just leave it as it is. And I think we have like a complete post. Like I don't even need to dive very deep into it. It's nice.
Noor, can you just do for like David Fisher and Jeff Leisure? Can you do @ and does it create that link, or no, not in this?
No, you have to do it manually on LinkedIn.
Okay. So when you publish this to LinkedIn, does it come in as a draft and you can amend it at that point? Or is it
no, it publishes it
Okay.
publishes directly as a post, and then I
Yep.
just go in, edit post, and just tag dimensions, and then I leave it.
So you're posting and then editing immediately.
Yeah.
Is that, Daniel, I don't know if you speak to this at all. I heard that can tweak the algorithm or in a negative way.
I had heard
Yeah,
that in the
I didn't-
past.
I
But
didn't know you guys were doing that. That'll definitely hack the algorithm in a negative way if you post it and immediately edit it.
Really,
So-
I heard that change, but I mean, I know that was a thing
Oh.
for a while. I mean, it's one of
it-
those things like no one really knows, but I had heard that originally, probably 6 months ago, that was an issue, and now other people are saying it doesn't matter as long as it's not like a drastic change.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't know. Tagging
Well, we
people
can-
could be.
Another workaround could be tagging them in the comments instead of editing the post.
Yeah, I mean, so for me personally, I would rather than copy this, go right into LinkedIn and paste it and tag people the proper way. That's my opinion for me and my personal brand. Tagging people in comments, for me, I feel is cheesy. I'd rather, if I can't put them into the conversational flow, don't tag them. But again, that's for my personal brand. That's what I would want to do. But it's not the end all be all. I'm just very more.
Yeah,
more
I mean, you
particular.
always have the option here below to like save it to the drafts and then take it from the drafts here, copy it and paste it inside of LinkedIn and tag everyone.
Yeah. I'm just a little bit more finicky, as you guys can tell, on my personal brand stuff. But yeah. No, poor Nora.
I think you need to be.
Yeah, I think so too. I think it's worth it. I don't mean to be a pain in the ass just to be a pain in the ass. It's if I'm going to be the CEO of Fist Bump, I need to care more about it, and so I do.
Definitely, yeah.
Yep. Cool.
Do you guys have any questions? Like Seth, Cups, do you guys have any questions?
I think Cups is going.
Butch, do you have any questions? You're going to be doing this a lot soon.
I'm looking forward to doing a lot of this soon.
Yeah,
Well, that would
unfortunately,
be-
with the tagging, it's just not possible via the API or the technical way of the way they want you to post to LinkedIn from other services is the way that we do it. The correct and follows their terms and conditions. If anyone lets you do it through their software, they're using your session and they've got a bot that's posting as you inside of LinkedIn. So unfortunately, the only way to do it that way is to actually go around their API. And maybe one day we'll have to do
Yeah,
that.
well,
I
but
don't know.
also like if you think about it, you're not tagging people in each and every post. Like if you do this twice a week, it's not terrible.
Mhm. Sure. And then just have a way to mark as published or something like that versus just saving as a draft. Okay, let me write a note for that.
Yeah, and I think guys, as you use this feature, let us know what's working for you, what you'd like to see different. I mean, we're in scale up mode right now. We're getting busy. We're adding more clients. You guys are still our alpha beta group, and I think I'm not adding any more. I'll be very specific if we add any more people to our coaching community at this point, because it's not going to be a core focus of what Fist Bump does.
You get grandfathered in though, or are you going to kick me out?
No, you're grandfathered, man. You're not going anywhere. We love you.
Part of the Fist Bump team.
That's right. Well,
I just did a nice interview this morning with Hubert. I have to take it all
nice.
back.
Awesome. Thank you for doing that.
A pleasure.
Yeah, I mean, look, some of the people that are in the coaching program that don't show up, eventually we may just kind of shut it down for them, because we're going to be focused on our service side instead of our coaching side.
Mhm.
So cool. Anything else coming up? We got a little bit more time. Any other things you're learning or struggles you have or questions you have or things that we can talk about as a group?
I'd throw something out there I try not to get sucked into the metrics and the what kind of interactions I'm getting. I have some posts obviously that do well and others that suck from how they respond or how they perform, I guess is a better word for it. So I guess it's just kind of general venting when you put something out there you feel like it's actually pretty good and no one actually sees it. What do you guys do in an instance like that? Do you basically say, this is good content and I'm just going to circle around and reformat it and throw it out there in another couple of weeks? Do you even wait that long? Like if nobody saw it, then do you just a couple of weeks later, just go ahead and put it out, try a different time maybe, or I don't know.
All of the above is my opinion, and Nor, you can share what you think too. I think, look, if I have a piece of content that I think is really good and it didn't work, I'm going to try, I'm not going to let it go. I want to repurpose it. I may try a different picture with the same content. When my engagement's down, I then move to a bit more like I'll throw pictures of me and my family. That usually gets more engagement and gets the algorithm more in my favor. Yeah, and then repurpose the content.
Yeah, me and Aya were talking about it this week actually, because we've been experiencing that a little bit with Brandon's engagement. Like it's up and down for the past 2 weeks. And she mentioned something very interesting. She said you have to shock the system. So what you do is you have to put something like a type of post that you haven't posted before or you haven't posted in a while. So like if you're very consistent with posting pictures, try posting a video, and that would like shock the system with new type of content that you're pushing out. Utilizing hashtags as well, and this is something that I've been doing. So if you go into like whatever AI tool that you use to like research and stuff like that, research the like 5 to 10 most relevant and popular LinkedIn hashtags, and those usually drive up engagement as well. And if you're consistent with the time that you're posting in, so let's say for example every day you're posting at 9, the algorithm catches that and it starts dropping your engagement. So every day, like make a window for yourself, like from 9 to 12, this is the time I will be posting, and shift it around throughout the week, because that hacks the algorithm as well. Because once they catch that you're consistent and that people are recognizing you and you're getting good numbers and comments, they start making you disappear. And we're not sure why they do that, but they do that. So you're going to have to like shock the system with these little tips that you can do.
Excellent feedback. I forget. I don't know if it was another training I was on or a webinar or something like that. It kind of talking about like the decreased traction that people seem to be getting, and their theory was like it doesn't make them any money right at the end of the day. So so they're looking to basically promote more paid pieces, whether it appears as like a thought leadership piece that looks more organic or whatever that might be. But at the end of the day, it's a business, right? So our posting of all of this content isn't really generating income for them. So they're gonna make extra room by pushing us out of the way and put paid stuff in the middle. That was the theory, anyways.
Unfortunately, that's which is very unfair, but it happens.
Brandon, talk to Carson about that. I don't know if he's got any leverage with LinkedIn at all, but the same mothership.
Unfortunately, no. We've actually been trying to get the president of LinkedIn on our show. Carson's been trying to work that. We'll get that there. Or Reem, I see a hand up. Did we miss that earlier?
No, but I hope my internet is working fine, because I have a tip to share. Actually, there are two. First one is when the post is not doing so well, what I do is when I post it again, I put part of the story as a hook, like a very small fragment of the story as a hook, and it works fine. For example, if I'm talking about, if Cups is still here, we were talking about his shoulder injury. we've talked about it in a very LinkedIn post, and it was like me telling a story, and it didn't do so well. But then again, the next time I posted, I was like, hey, I learned brushing my teeth with my left hand. And just putting a fragment of the story as a hook gets everyone interested in a post and for them to like to continue reading the post. So this was one of the tips that I've been using to repurpose a post by adding a fragment of the story as a hook. Second tip is I've been adding a video of for example, Cups or Seth asking a question, and then the written post or the written part of the post would be my answer. So the post would be as frank as what I think is 1, 2, 3, 4, but the video is just playing over and over and over as you read the question, so you get the urge to answer and comment and engage. So a short video of you asking a question, and this is the repurpose of the post. It's just not posting the same piece of content. It's just you creating a question. Just for example, the CDA that we posted in the prior post, you asking it in a short video, and then posting it again with the same written post. The video keeps on.
You have see an example of that?
Playing. Hope this was helpful.
Yeah, thanks, Reem. I'm curious. I'm trying to wrap my head around what you were talking about. I think I can see it, but I'm curious if you can share maybe a link to how you use that so we can actually see it in real life.
The fragment part or the short video?
Like the short video of the question, and then how you're handling,
yes.
You know, how the written content adds to that.
Sure. Let me grab a link from Seth's account actually, and I'll send it over the chat. Give me 2 minutes.
Okay. Brandon, I just finished listening to your 3rd of July post, which was just you, Tom, and Carson, and that one seemed to get a ton of really great comments in the in the live show itself. Just thoughts in general on you think it was the content, the topic of personal branding just seems to be something that everyone's really thinking about these days, or curious as your thoughts on that.
Yeah, well, I do think so. I think, well, I have a couple of thoughts for it. Number one is I made sure that we did that as an episode. Number one is we're pivoting Fist Bump to being the service. We're really focused on personal branding and not so much on social selling, because actually the personal brand side is creating more opportunities than anything we're doing in the whole like selling realm. Like the direct messaging, I don't know about you guys, but the direct message crap that's coming into me on LinkedIn right now is so much that we really, to really rise above the noise, we have to be publishing, we have to be commenting, we have to do things differently. And competing in the direct messages isn't going to win. So I do think that more people are realizing that. I think that more companies are finally embracing personal brand for their team members. You know, Victoria Jimenez, who was a student at University of Texas, Dallas, and she messaged me afterwards and asked if we could do a little conversation because she works for Spectrum, big, huge company. And she said part of her training is on how she needs to be responsible for her own personal brand and use that for her success in her company. Now, what they gave her was more of do's and don'ts, mostly a lot of don'ts, and it didn't really give her a whole lot of tactical strategy. But just the fact that a enterprise level company like Spectrum is talking about personal branding, I think it's just that how do we rise above the noise? How do we stand out of the crowd? How do we be different is really top of mind with a lot of companies. I think there's a lot of headwinds that companies are finally, things that we've been talking about on the show for years about cold calls are not producing, cold emails are not producing. I think companies are finally going, no more excuses. This just isn't working. As Tom and I like to say, the pedal faster, do more. All it's doing is turning over people faster. So Chris, I don't know. I loved it because that's really my passion. And if I'm being honest, by making Fist Bump focused on social selling was just an error on my part. Personal branding is my passion, and I believe it is better suited for companies anyway, especially when a C-suite or a business owner, or at least somebody in the upper, 20% of the company and leadership is the evangelist and growing their personal brand. That's where relationships happen, and it's relationships where business happens. So, I don't know if that's a long-winded answer to your question. I think it is a little bit of all the above. I think the topic's hot. I think people are looking to it. They're trying to figure it out. And social selling and the tactics of direct message and direct message automation is just not producing.
Gotcha. No, appreciate that. Quick note, I hit the link that you put in there, so thank you very much. It takes me to Mastering Modern Selling sign-in, which I'm not sure what that is. Is that
you're part of the Social Selling 2.0, well, Mastering Modern Selling community, right?
I think so. I don't ever remember creating a password or anything like that. So I guess I could create an account.
Yeah, I can also well, let me see members. Pretty sure you were in there. I'm doing a search for you right now.
Okay.
You're not in there.
Huh.
All right, there's a link I need to send you so that you can join it without having to pay. So let me get that to you. But the other thing I think I can do, I think that video is also on our YouTube channel. I'll get it to you when we're done, Chris.
Okay, awesome. Appreciate it.
You got it.
All
right, everybody. Thanks you all.
Have
Happy
a great
Friday.
weekend. Happy Friday.
Thanks,
Take care.
guys. All right, see you.
Bye,
Thanks, everybody. Good stuff.
See ya.
Bye. Bye, everyone.
Bye.